is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
From what day you may find out, certain people not like me. I pre one crackers bag a thing now. Make sure me I do it like Nike.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, the Cleveland Clinic, Fine Threads, Janae's Uniform Center, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's and Games, Print Masters, and Tropical Jarrows.
Me just I do it like Nike. Them one buys and make show me thing up.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
You've got it locked and loaded to the Tuesday, July 16th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and your company right up until 6 p.m. on this Tuesday edition. Like I said, July 16th. Boy, we just got to July. I thought we were just doing 4th of July. I thought we were just doing July 10th, Independence. Now we halfway through. Because, you know, the back end of the month always go faster than the front end. So for sure. But then that gets us ready for August, which is obviously the greatest month on the calendar, next to December. Because we all know who's born in December. But we know who's born in August. Last day too, by the way. So just circle your calendars, get it right. You can bring the gifts, like you know the routine. Just drop them off downstairs. Greatly appreciated. But here's how you chime in. You know it is Tuesday. It's all about the Grand Bahama Report. The Freeport Report Live will be going to Grand Bahama on the flip side of the break. Touching base with Sarah Kirkby from the Grand Bahama News. And, of course, Darren Kubin. Don't forget, each and every Tuesday in The Guardian, that awesome supplement from the Grand Bahama News, getting you caught up with everything that's going on in Grand Bahama. And here's how you chime in. In New Providence, phone lines are open 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Toll free in any one of the family islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Text lines powered by BTC, 422-GR96, that's 422-4796. Stream us live, take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com, that's GuardianTalkRadio.com. Cable channel 969, BTC Flow channel 612, that's how you get it in, that's how you get it on. For fresh news, smart talk all day, right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. All right. We will be going to Grand Bahama shortly. But before we do that, you know we got to check out the headliners. Who are what's making headlines in a 242?
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
And here's what is variation up the pages of the Nassau Guardian News and Views that matter since 1844. Brought to you, of course, by Fine Threads. New arrivals in stock right now. Be sure to check them out. Top of Hill, Mackey Street, the flagship store, and the Southwest Shopping Plaza location. Both of those locations available for you at 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. All right, big headlines. Davis pledges huge impact from cannabis. New industry will create thousands of jobs. The impact of the legalized cannabis industry will be widespread, Prime Minister Philip Byrd Davis said yesterday, adding that his administration is opening the door for the creation of thousands of jobs in agriculture, manufacturing, retail, and dispensary facilities in healthcare. Davis was speaking during debate in the House of Assembly on a compendium of cannabis-related bills. He touted the legislation as a critical step forward for the Bahamas and a fulfillment of a key pledge in the Progressive Liberal Party's blueprint for change. Quoted as saying, before us is a new economic reality in which cannabis has the potential to play a large role in our economy. The impact of the cannabis industry will be widespread, affecting many different sectors. By legalizing cannabis for medical use, we are also legalizing the many supporting inputs that are necessary for the industry. Well, we have Dr. Marvin Smith from the Pharmaceutical Association on as our special guest tomorrow. We'll talk to him on from that perspective, from that angle. Because, you know, they did have some questions on the bill, some queries. They found some flaws, but obviously this administration is open to getting the best bill forward, hopefully, so we can get that done. We'll talk to Dr. Smith. We'll talk to other, interested members of the cannabis community. Another big headline, Darville bills do not encourage recreational cannabis use. This from Dr. Michael Darville. As the open debate on a compendium of bills to legalize cannabis for medical and religious use yesterday, Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Michael Darville, emphasized that the intention is not to encourage recreational use of marijuana. With the passing of this legislation, we know that some people envision a society where medical cannabis is easily accessible and people are outside smoking a joint all over the street and using cannabis products freely. This is a misconception, and the legalization addresses this grave concern. I have a problem with that very stereotypical answer from the minister right there. That's a big, broad brush you're painting strokes with, sir. You know, but like I said, it's open for discussion, it's open for debate. And I think that's the most important thing. It needs to get the admission from the public as to where they stand. They need to be a key component in this. This can't be rushed through like other things, but only certain people have a stake in the industry and others don't. Or more like people have a monopoly on the industry and others don't. Let's leave it just like that. Case against Michelle Reckley and 4 others set for next year. The trial of former Urban Renewal Chief Michelle Reckley and 4 others is scheduled to continue early next year after a magistrate dismissed an application aimed to stopping the trial. Reckley is accused of defrauding the government of $1,255,637.83 through the Urban Renewal Small Homes Repair Program on Grand Bahama. Mitchell, don't trash the police. Minister of Foreign Affairs Fred Mitchell yesterday warned against trashing the Royal Bahamas Police Force amid allegations of corruption that recently rocked the organization. Our position is that the integrity of the Royal Bahamas Police Force must be protected, that we cannot trash the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and that they understand the seriousness of this matter, and that there will be a thorough investigation that where expertise is indeed or is needed, that expertise will be called upon, and that is our position. But expertise is needed sometimes to tell you when to keep your mouth closed. It's like, ah, boy. Anyhow, there you go. That's what's blazing up the pages of the Nassau Guardian News and Views that matter since 1844. Let me check the text lines real quick. Naughty, it's good to hear Toby Smith was granted his lease on the beachfront. No, I think he was granted a permission to take it to the Privy Council in order to get his lease. But yes, the wheels are turning. Toby, no stranger to the show. Possibly have him on Friday. I'm going to check his schedule and see if he's available, but I would like to catch up with Toby and have a convo with him. And you know, get caught up with him as well, because, you know, that has been played out over a period of time. A lot of people were rooting for Toby. That's the thing. A lot of times people want to see the small man have an opportunity in the game. The same situation here with the discussion of this cannabis bill. Everybody needs to be involved on multiple levels and have a shot at having a stake in the game. It can't just be for some and not for others. But I digress. All right, let's take a quick break. Flip side of the break, we'll be going down to Grand Bahama. The Buzz, brought to you by John Shoes, is coming up, and we'll find out everything that's going on, what they're buzzing on in Grand Bahama. The Freeport Report is coming up, courtesy of the Grand Bahama News. We'll have Sarah Kirkby and Darren Cooper chiming in, so keep it right where you got it. The Tuesday, July 16th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan, dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan, from the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, go play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
We go everywhere. Shop early at Janae's Chesapeake Road annual back-to-school sale going on now. Get up to 20% off on all school items in stock. Yes, all school items in stock. Shirts, jumpers, skirts, boys' long and short pants, school neckties, PE shorts, in a variety of colors and school monograms. Shop early and don't miss out at Janae's Uniform Center Chesapeake Road's annual back-to-school sale going on now. Remember, we go everywhere. Beat the rush and save, save, save at Janae's annual sale now.
We are bucket it together when everybody out. Fried chicken we a pre, bucket for the crew. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Crispy original when we online. Bucket together under the new dance craze.
Hot KFC Summer Bucket Deal. 8 pieces of your favorite fried chicken and 4 buttery biscuits with options to add family fries, a 2-liter switcher, and 4 pineapple biscuits, starting at $20. KFC, it's finger licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's time for the buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
We're back at you on the Tuesday, July 16th edition of Talking Heads. And, of course, it's time now for the buzz, all brought to you, of course, by John's Shoes. And don't forget, new arrivals in stock right now, every Monday and Tuesday, ladies, new arrivals just for you. And don't forget, everything back to school that you require for your kids. School shoes, athletic shoes, book bags, all the accessories to go along with. It's all about John's, both locations, John's Plaza, Carmichael, and the flagship store over there on Rosetta. Both of those locations available for you 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Be sure to check them out. And remember, John's, serving you is a pleasure. All right, we got Sarah Kirkby from the Grand Bahama News. We got Darren Cooper chiming in. It is time for the Grand Bahama Report, the Freeport Report, as we do each and every Tuesday. What's happening, guys? How are you? How goes it?
Good. I'm hanging in.
Boy, we got lots to talk about, boy. Lots.
School anymore?
Huh?
Just glad I don't have to do back to school anymore.
Shut up.
It is so nice. It's finished.
Be
for me.
quiet,
Amen.
show off.
I just realized how nice that is.
Oh, God. For those of us still a few years away from that, thanks for pouring the salt in the wound there, Miss Morton. But anyway, let's talk about Grand Bahama.
I got to have a happy moment. It's been a horrible day, so I need
There you go. Well, I hope it gets better for you from here on out, Sarah.
Thank you, darling.
Good supplement again, as always.
Thank you.
From the Grand Bahama News. So let us know what's going on, the good stuff, Sarah. And then, of course, Darren and I will chop up the ugly portion of it.
Chop it up. Yeah,
we got some stuff to talk about, Darren.
No problem. Our lead story today is about Miss Adderley, our fantastic 16-year-old Olympian. We thought that she was going to the Olympics, and we understand that she was not chosen for the team, but we have heard this may change as of today. So we await to hear any news on that. It was a bit devastating, and you'll see Norris Bain's comments and also the young Miss Adderley's comments about it too.
The way I see it is, if she was good enough to help qualify for the mixed relays, despite having times that weren't fast enough earlier in the year, if you base it on that last performance, at least, she should be an alternate. She's 16. She's the future of the program. She's showing tremendous potential at this age. This would be a good experience for her to get over there. Maybe she hit the track once. Maybe she don't hit the track at all. But the experience of it all will elevate her to where she needs to be. You don't want her to have a bad feeling. This is the kind of stuff that discourages kids.
Exactly. And what I think I found more devastating was the fact that she stepped up to the plate and did this when no one else would do it. So they were calling around. From what I understand, she was one of the calls. She got on the plane, went and did the race that day, just had no recuperation time. Boom, she's there. Boom, she's racing. She got given a horrible time on social media. They just lambasted her, and then the kid picked herself up and put in that phenomenal final race that made them win the whole thing. So, she proved herself, and it's really, I really do hope it changes.
I'm looking at it like this. Taking one participant here or there won't kill us. We've stranded gnats and swallowed camels, and we've carried family, friends, and lovers and homies and cronies on these kind of trips before. People, when you look at the entourage, saying, "What the hell are they doing there? What in God's name are they doing there on our dime? Why are they there?"
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about athletes. I'm talking about part of the entourage, if you know what I mean.
I do.
So in this instance, you got to reward look. If she was a 20-some-year-old athlete who'd already participated in college or whatever, guess what? Sweet girl, you understand you wasn't fast enough. This is the decision. Somebody who's in the pipeline at only 16 and who has potentially many Olympic Games in front of her, this is a great experience that I think she should be afforded for what she did as far as helping us qualify and get into that mixed 4x4 relay. So at the end of the day, we straighten at gnats and swallow camels, help benefit the future of the program by allowing this kid to travel.
Yeah, I really do hope it happens. So we'll wait to hear about that and get an update. We covered a bit on the Grand Bahama economy. We're still struggling to rebound, but we all knew that was happening. But we see a lot of excitement in our future. So I'm going to think positive, and
I must say, you did it in typical Pollyanna fashion, Sarah. You made it look good. You had a lot of colors. It was distracting in the sense you didn't look right at the gut shot that is. But hey, nice blues. You had 3 blues in there, a nice orange and a yellow as well. The green was a nice highlight as well too.
Nothing wrong with being steady. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So we're being steady. We're going to kick up. I believe it's going to happen. We have a very nice story and a beautiful young girl who's also helping the Humane Society here. The Humane Society has really struggled since with multiple hurricanes and a lot of people, not taking care of their pets. So this beautiful young lady has stepped up. She did a fundraiser. She's also helping. She volunteers. So I thought it was really nice to highlight Michaela for everything she's done. And then there's a really fun story that I thought you might like, Naughty, about the skateboarding. This is a guy who's retired and moved to the island. I think he still works with athletes in the States and he represents them. And he brought down all these skaters and they were with 80 kids in the rain, unfortunately, on Saturday. It was bad weather. I don't know what the weather was like in Nassau. But they gave these kids these phenomenal skateboards that are $200 to $300 boards. They taught them how to assemble them, how to take care of them, how they showed them some tricks. They showed them how to skateboard. It was phenomenal. And I just can't believe the money that was invested for it and all the people that helped. It's really cool.
I think that's good, man. And listen, skateboarding is a sport that a lot of Bahamian kids could get into.
With our natural athleticism, I totally see that happening. There was a big word I pulled out today, and I said it right. But the boards were so cool. I mean, I only know from skateboarding when I was a kid, and that was quite a while ago. And it was great to see that. So, and then we're just on obviously a real go Grand Bahama sports. We also have sailing as well, and sailing club has come back. I know Darren has been quite involved with the sailing, so. But this is a story that came to us about them bringing West End kids in to sail as well, and the program all coming back with the help of lots of people. So it was all good on that front.
Well,
that's me.
We like to support sailing here on this show. So I was glad to know that that's coming in. I think that's a good initiative there, Darren, getting as many kids involved in that as you can.
Yeah. And I know Darren, before we go, I just want to make sure after we talk about the sailing, Darren, I also want you to address the fishing hole road on the shipyard. They put an announcement out that the pipeline has come down now as well. So I'll let you go to the sailing first, though. Sorry.
Yeah, well, as it relates to Sailing Club here, the Sailing Summer Camp has returned. One of the challenge with the Sailing Camp or the Sailing Club itself is the consistent funding that's needed. It is our national sport. And, we can't seem to even get government support. But however, with a successful 2-week sailing camp, kids from the West End community, along with kids from the community of Grand Bahama proper, were able to participate, some for the very first time, and some who've been in the camp for some time. The overall competition of what was taught was a competition over on Saturday and Sunday. Of course, Saturday got rained out for a bit, then the weather dropped, the breeze dropped, so it was sort of complicated. But the kids overall was excited about the program and just excited to be able to receive their medal from participating in the sailing camp. And so we're hoping that as the months and the days go on, we'll be able to get funding for the Sailing Club, that we can continue to grow the program, get our kids involved, not just those who can afford it, but to be able to run a program to those who may not be able to afford it, to be able to have a funded program that Mr. Halpin and his team would be able to continue the program, and also be looking and hopefully being able to create a sloop building camp where we can actually begin to train and pass on the knowledge to our kids, our children. How do you build those sloops for regattas and to enter them into competition? And so we're just hoping for funding and support that this body can continue to thrive and stay alive in Grand Bahama. And so, it's something that's around the Bahamas. Sailing is, a thing. And, it starts from sailing clubs to go into regattas to be able to, become, successful in this area. So we're happy to have it back, and hopefully be able to continue to work towards support of it. As relates to the fishing on road, we would have received notice that the pipes was expected to be removed on Friday of last week, the 12th of July, and we were very grateful. A lot of residents were very grateful and happy to see those pipes removed. It created a sort of a slight traffic congestion even on Saturday as they removed machines cross from one side to the other. But thus far, the area is pretty much thereabout back to some sense of normalcy, traffic able to move. We're still hoping to be able to get some clarity from GBPA, Grandma Port Authority Building and Development Department, and also from the environment, as relates to what the slush is going to be used up. Is it just going to sit in this pool that has been created? These couple acres of land that has this 12 feet build-up barrier. What is going to be done with it? We are in hurricane season, and many residents, especially in that barrier, wants to know what is going to be done with what has been pumped from one side to the other side.
I found out a little bit more on that. We're trying to do a story on that for you, Darren, and for the callers who called in last week on it as well. And I did find out that it's got to do with Freeport Container Port. So we're reaching out to them to find out what the info is. And then also, I was speaking to one of the engineers who was working on the pipeline removal, as well as has been working for the company on this. And they said that that land that has built up is solid. It is not moving, and it will not go anywhere, and the hurricane will not affect it, according to him and what he understands. And this is the same thing that happened with the large fill that's also in the industrial area by Bahamas Rock. It was not moved by Hurricane Dorian, and it wouldn't be. It's very solid. But that was pumped out from the shipyard area so that the two larger berths can come in. But obviously that's not the full whole scope of it. I don't know what's going to be done with it. I don't know if it's filled to use for other projects, or if it's something they're going to sell off, or is it something they're going to build on top of. That's what we don't know. We're going to try and find out.
But I think many residents would like to have what you just said, something in some document to say this is what's going to happen. This is what is expected.
Exactly, yeah.
So that we would be able to have something that we can hold whomever is responsible accountable in the event of any unforeseen. So it's good to know that it will turn hard. How long will it take? And, give us something in writing that we'll be able to hold you accountable to it.
That's what I still think is it me sitting on the fence asking this question now? Let me ask this. Are we still having an issue with getting information out properly in Grand Bahama? Are we still having a problem with the information getting where it needs to be?
Of course, we still have a problem with information, because one of the things that the Grand Bahama Port Authority like to cry and say, "Oh, it's on our website," as if we're supposed to know every flipping day to check the website to know that West Sunrise Highway Road is closed, and persons have to go and take a cut when half of the people in Grand Bahama don't really even know the maze of getting through South Bahama. And so you don't have proper signage. You say, take this left, take that left. It'll take you back to the main highway. So information is very, very, very horrible in getting out. And when we try to encourage them to utilize the easy means of passing on information and getting information out there, which is the WhatsApp app, they still decide to just post it on their website to know that I'm supposed to know, go to www.gbpa.com and I'm going to get everything. So every time before I leave home, I should just go to www.gbpa, check the website and see what's the forecast for the day as relates to driving. Should I take this route or take that route? And then on top of that, you have people who are being diverted off of the West Sunrise Highway Road into South Bohemia and then having to go in through the bonded area, which there wasn't even provisions made with Bahamas Customs. I think it was later made, but then there's no provisions made with Bahamas Customs for these bonded vehicles to go out of the bonded area in order for them to get back to the main thoroughfare to go where they need to go. So, it's just those little simple things that, when you talk about information not being given out, is those simple things that causes them to miss the mark and being able to properly share the information. Because you saw that person on Friday wanted to know why the pipes were coming down. So I knew that it was coming down on Friday because it was sent directly to me. But again, it wasn't given to the public.
Yes, it was. Thank you very much. It was in the Grand Bahama News. It was e-blasted out as well in the 242 News.
Where was it? Where was it, Sarah?
It was on my newsletter. You keep up with that wonderful paper, the Grand Bahama News, Aaron. And then you have to keep up with the newsletter.
Naughty. You heard what I said, right?
I heard.
Simple means of an everyday, easy way of passing on information. They hide it in the papers and they hide it through the email.
You can hide it in the paper.
Well, if you want to hide anything from us Bahamians, put it in writing. We don't read.
I had it in the paper.
But
I had it in the newsletter, and we e-blasted it out for them as well because I chased them down the last time. They didn't communicate, said you need to put it out there, and they have actually been really good and putting notices out as well. So, and then that's where they also put the release out as well, too. So, I've been pushing them, Darren. Be proud of me. But you got to buy that wonderful newspaper. You don't have to go online.
Especially get it every Tuesday.
To get that newspaper on Tuesday.
Okay. Now,
and you can sign up, by the way, for 242 News free on our Facebook page or on our on the link that we sent out in the newsletter. So you can always sign up for that too. Free. That's free.
All right. Now that I have both of you, on air as we do each and every Tuesday, I'm sitting here with bated breath. I'm looking through the Grand Bahama News, Sarah, and I must say I'm kind of disappointed. This is week 3. This is the third week from when the Prime Minister said in 3 weeks we'd have an announcement on Grand Bahama. I'm thinking that was going to be the front page headline of the Grand Bahama News, but instead you went bleeding heart and you tug at everybody's heart with the Adderley story. And then I'm looking through and I'm like, okay, it's going to be on the next page. It's going to be on the next page. And I see skateboards and I see all kind of other stuff. But where's it? Any updates? It's 3 weeks. Hey.
Nope. Got nothing for you, love.
Man, you mean I got all dressed up today and nowhere to go and celebrate for Grand Bahama? I thought we get news on the airport. Thought we get news on the hotel down. You don't have no news on the hotel. You got some news. Y'all playing with me, right?
Boy, Naughty, I wish we had something to give you. As you could see, because we don't have no news, we're losing one of our long airlines that has been with us for so many years. Is pulling out. Just makes it difficult to operate business in Grand Bahama. We can't continue to lose. That's what we're doing. So I just too, like you, was hoping that we would have heard something by now to bring some level of excitement on the streets to say that, hey, we got a sale. This is the new purchaser, and not even just to announce who the purchaser, just to say we signed an agreement and the money is on its way, or we've given the hotel away. Nothing. But I guess we probably will go 4 weeks.
Boy, I tell you, I'm disappointed. I can't lie. I'm going to send an email to the office of the Prime Minister and let him know my disappointment on that because I was really expecting an announcement today.
all of us disappointed, Naughty, just not you. So when you write that, make sure put in that all of the people of Grand Bahama, even the PLPs, were disappointed.
I put on behalf of my co-host on Tuesdays and the entirety of Grand Bahama and Freeport.
Yes.
What y'all responsible for and what y'all ain't responsible for. Everything, the whole of them, see. Got a text coming in here. Naughty, could you please ask Darren to come through the Lewis Yard area and inspect the watercolor? We're having horrible water coming in our homes. The water company needs to be contacted because the water is horrible. So
not a problem.
You got a call from Lewis Yard, Darren, regarding the water.
I'm aware of the. Well, we've had this very same concern in more of the Pindus Point, Seco Town, Pindus Point area, which was corrected a year or so ago. They had War Construction came in with Curly Tail, and they were to change out some pipes. GBUC is saying that this pipe system is not their pipe. This is government's pipe and government responsibility. And so the pipes that they changed a year ago was out of good faith, just to be able to provide the residents in that area. And I sat into the town meeting when they were there, just to be able to provide residents with some, relief. And the water was very brown, looked like sewer water coming out because the pipes were metal pipes, and they were to change the pipes to PVC. So now what you're having in the Lewis Yard area, because this system would have gone, or this would have run as far, I would believe, as far as almost the Pindus Point graveyard, almost to Upper Zion. And it was said in that meeting that if the government doesn't look into changing out the whole entire Southern District pipes, these areas, as time go on, we'll begin to see what the Seco Town, Pindus Point residents were faced with. And so now we're hoping that GB Utility will see the need to, again, in good faith, seeing that they're collecting the revenue from the water, they would see the need to change out the remaining pipes, because government ain't really collecting no money from the water. The water is all provided by the utility company owned by the Grand Bahama Port Authority. And so we would hope that in good faith they would do another good deed in changing out those pipes, because they're the ones that benefiting from the distribution of the water.
All right, I got another one for you, Darren. Naughty, good afternoon to your guests, Darren and Sarah. In reference to the info Darren has on the beautiful Grand Bahama salaries, please tell him that his brothers, sisters, and supporters in Grand Bahama aren't interested in the old political game of giving crooks an ultimatum. We expect him to release said info to the relevant authorities so the proper investigation can be conducted, and also publicly so that we can scrutinize it and support him in getting some resolutions to this.
Naughty, as relates to the question that I asked in reference to the beautiful Grand Bahama, those who allegedly is double dipping, the information is being compiled, and I can assure your listeners that Darren is going to do the honorable thing in passing over the information that I have. I don't expect for anything to be done with it, but I'm going to lay it on the records of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. We have seen in the no later than today a whole shuffle of changes. When I was down there was only about 27 workers. Today, I've received reports and pictures that there's some 87 workers today and new team captains. But again, there is great concern, and I don't want anyone to think that we're going to play politics with it. It is our money that's being recklessly spent, and anything that is recklessly done, we want to be, we want those who are in position of power to be held accountable. So my documents and information will be turned over to the Royal Bahamas Police Force, just waiting on a final piece of paperwork that will be able to give some credence to what it is we are complaining and what complaint we'll be making, so that we just won't go there with some hearsay and 1 or 2 pieces of paper, but something that we will not just release to the police department, but we will also release to my good Sarah Kirkby, so she could run a story on it.
And make sure I send me a copy too, so I get to do a show on it. How about that?
It's gonna be in the supplement report.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good, solid. You can have it.
Because he loves to read that paper. That's the best paper in town.
There you go. But here's
Naughty, before I
Mhm.
know we're going to go soon, but I just want to talk about your headlines. I wanted to hear your comments on the cannabis today.
I really have no comment because I still have some issues with it. I mean, I think some proponents are good, some need work, and I think you'll have a better idea where I stand tomorrow when I have Dr. Marvin Smith on from the Pharmaceutical Association, because I got some questions for him in relation.
That's a good Grand Bahama boy. We love to hear from him.
Too much Kansas City Chiefs and too much Georgia Bulldogs from him. Really, you need to tone him down.
Well, that's because he went to a good Southern school, so he should talk about the Bulldogs.
Run right out.
What did they basically say that they're just doing it for recreational and not recreational?
No.
sorry,
It's
just for
medicinal.
medical.
It's medicinal, and I don't have a problem with the medicinal portion. I don't have a
Right.
problem with the sacramental portion, but I do feel that we're ignoring a portion. The recreational portion has been going on
Yes.
for years.
Yeah.
And if you want to have an
and
all
the tourists
inclusive,
get so confused.
correct. If
and
you want to
think
have an
that
all
it's-
inclusive, if you want to make it inclusive for all Bahamians, I think that's a component that needs to be there. When you're talking about decriminalization, I think not only do you have to decriminalize amounts, but you need to look at expunging some records.
Exactly.
Because
and
we
I
got a
also-
lot of people carrying,
But financially,
a mark on their records that they don't
windfall
need
that
to.
can come from this. I just don't understand why we're not embracing the windfall of the finance.
And I feel
that will come from this.
Bahamians need to be involved in every step of the process.
Yeah. Okay.
And be
Gotcha.
players in the game. It can't
Yeah.
just be the same Bahamians and not all. This is something that needs to be looked at properly and from more angles. There's some good stuff to it, but there's some flaws in
Yeah.
it that need to be addressed and be corrected.
Okay.
And at some point
I
in the
wanna
future, there
touch on
needs
that,
to be
yeah.
an amendment to the recreational portion of it.
And so it was only certain people that are going to be able.
And
to,
I don't care.
to
I don't
do it.
care what Dr. Darwin says. Medicinal, you will see a new wave. If you don't have a recreational market, at some point you're going to see a medicinal market. In my opinion, take the turn of the six slip.
Yeah.
You know, I need a six slip dog. Okay, well, hey, my glaucoma kicking up, by my arthritis in my knees and my hand. Listen. We want to keep it full 100. We want to keep it holistic. We want to keep it beneficial to all Bahamians and make sure all Bahamians have a chance in the game.
Yeah.
And on whichever
ahead.
level it is. Let's get to the phone lines real quick. Talking
Yeah,
heads.
that one. Thank you.
No problem. Talking heads.
A pleasant good evening, Naughty. How you doing?
What you got, Sparks? You got to make it quick because we about to get to the break.
I know. The thing is, you had your show on a little while. I was holding there for the longest. And I know you go to the 5 o'clock with your sports and things.
So what you got for me, man, Sparks? I hope you're doing well.
Tell me quick before I open my mouth, you can cut me off.
I ain't going to cut you off. I tell you make it quick because I know that's something hard for you to do. Now let's go.
I've been hearing going on with the address, with the marijuana, the whatever it is. I'm trying to say this, Naughty. I've been a 17-year-old man, a boy in this Bahama Islands when I left Government High, the Government High, in 1970. Growing in the valley and so forth, all this thing with this grass and all this kind of thing, Naughty. Now this thing, all of that kind, we was locked up, we did all kind of foolish and everything like that to us. Back then, now that I'm 73 years old, they're discussing whether they can legalize it, this and that, for medicinal, this and that, and that. I was 17 years old, sitting on the blocks with the guys back then, smoking more grass every day, and I could name you some people within the House of Assembly.
Don't do it. Don't do it. But go ahead. You still there, Sparks? Oh, we lost Sparky. Sparky, don't name him and shame him. But Sparky, that's what you call evolution, man. Do you want it to be like how it was, and no disrespect to you, when you were 17? Or do you want it to evolve to where we look at it for what it is and take the benefits of the industry as well? Not just the usage portion of it and the consumption, but the actual benefits of the hemp industry and the cannabis industry. That's what we need to look at too. But I digress. Stop it. Your text is saying, Naughty, you mean Sparky? Remember when he was in school in 1670? Right after Columbus reached? My God, stop it. But, guys, we got to almost get to the break. But at some point, we got to, get an answer to what's going on. I mean, any way you can call out Minister Grand Bahama, Sarah, maybe, in your capacity?
Yeah, no.
Get an idea of when we're going to get the answer from the PM?
So, yeah, we're waiting.
Darren, you can't run it through the network and see if you can get an answer on this, man. We need a hotel. I got people texting, Naughty. I'm disappointed too. I got my popcorn. I got my brown bottles like Sparky waiting for this announcement today and nothing.
Sarah will do better getting any response from me because I have several questions that I'm trying to get the minister right now to answer. I'm even trying to get a message to the prime minister, so I'm the worst person to get anything from them.
So is it still mum's the word from the office of the minister of Grand Bahama? It's still like mum's the word, nothing?
Yeah, we haven't had any updates at all, no.
Wow. Naughty, before you cut me off, let me just say this.
I can cut you off before time run out. Say it like that. You ain't got to get all rough with me, man.
Before time run out, car dealers here in Grand Bahama is trying to get some clarity from the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Edward Brave Davis, as relates to the confiscation of these sales order forms. Now, we've been working with them and trying to get them to understand the errors of their ways. When they, the controller, Mr. Monroe, would have done a press release and sort of painted a picture to the public domain, and I thought it was very disingenuous on his end. But however, under the sales form, we are asked to get permission from Bahamas Customs to be able to export these cars throughout the islands of the Bahamas. This was an amendment made by the PLP when they came to office, and the extension of the sales order. Now you're getting permission from the relevant agencies here in Grand Bahama. You're going through the investigations department in Grand Bahama, who then turn around, do their part, and then offers you a certificate of approval, approving you to export these cars wherever you wish to take them. And then when they arrive, a few days later, you have their Nassau office coming behind and confiscating the people's car, and then charging them some $30,000+ in duty. And I believe, based on the information received, that this is a tactic of the government to be able to milk the people out of extra funds to be able to help pay for the plane and to get the upgrade, the BMW, and the big and do the travels. It is wrong. Some clarity should be given to it, that if Freeport gives approval, what makes Freeport approval so good to get it out of Grand Bahama and then makes it so bad when it gets into Nassau that you confiscate these people's cars and you're saying that they're doing fraudulent activity when you've gone through the proper procedure. And I have in my hand documents where I've gotten approval from Bahamas Customs because I want to go through the process to see how the process felt and what the process is all about. And I've gotten 2 scenarios of approval, which means that there's some errors in customs ways that needs to be looked at, and Mr. Monroe should answer the people properly and bring clarity to the situation, him along with Chief Evans, to bring clarity to where this is, because you're creating a bottleneck for car dealers in Grand Bahama, and you're causing the buyers or the people the cars are going to come back at these dealers with all sorts of problems. Unfortunately, D's Car Rental is not one of those companies that have this bottleneck. But I've tried the procedure, and I've gotten proper approval from from Bahamas Customs, given permission to export these cars. And people's cars are being confiscated by Bahamas Customs in Nassau. And I don't want the Prime Minister to say that they don't know. And I don't want Minister Moxie to say she don't know. And I don't want Simon Wilson to say he don't know.
Hey,
like,
careful now. Don't. You said I don't know something? You say I don't know? You said I don't know. I can wait for you outside. Anyway, on that note, good stuff, guys. Appreciate you chiming in. Mr. Producer tells me I got to get to the break. We'll do it again next Tuesday. Have a great rest of the week in Grand Bahama. Appreciate your contributions and looking forward to it next Tuesday, all right?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for cheering me up. I was having a bad day. I feel better now. Thank you.
And hopefully we get an announcement next week, man. I can get dressed up in bed next week, man.
All right, I'll tell you to put your tux on. I'll get you ready.
Y'all be safe and Don. Keep up the lives and the good coverage, man. Good stuff, man. Very informative. Appreciate you.
Read that Grand Bahama News, handsome Darren.
There you go. Let's get to the break. Flip side of the break, we got Cuban Willie taking us into the news. The numerology report, all brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. Keep it right where you got it.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located at the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
We are bucket together when everybody out. Fried chicken, we are free, bucket for the crow. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Crispy original when we're online. Bucket together under the new dance craze.
Hot KFC Summer Bucket Deal. 8 pieces of your favorite fried chicken and 4 buttery biscuits with options to add family fries, a 2-liter switcher, and 4 pineapple biscuits, starting at $20. KFC, it's finger licking good.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. You can buy your local paper at Freeport convenience stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Now is the time to reach your Grand Bahama market with affordable packages, including print and digital. Call GB News sales representative Kavandre at 822-6717 or message him on WhatsApp for ad rates. Classified ads are now available every Tuesday as well. Keep up with everything Grand Bahamian every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
Feeling lucky? Here's Cuban Willie's numerology report, brought to you by the Island Game.
Hello, good to see you. It's me, Cuban Willie, and it's time for my numerology report brought to you, of course, by the Island Game. Today is Tuesday, cuatro pelotas, the 4 votes. And you know, today when I was coming over, I heard on the Yitney, 6446, the BMW. Today's number, 6446, 6446, 6446, 6446. Same way back to front. Play it and win with the Island Game. Stay winning, my friends.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's pension plan, Island Game, keep you winning. Percy's pension plan, dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's pension plan, Island Game, we got you. Percy's pension plan, from the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, go play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
We're back at you on the Tuesday, July 16th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and your company, right up until 6 p.m. I know Purdy should be chiming in or be in studio. Shorty, either he can chime in or he could be in studio. One out of two, though. Purdy could be here. So we'll wait for Purdy to get here. But, while he gets here, I must do what I must, because I know there are a ton of you out there that love Today in Sports History, all brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny's. And we'll jump right into that. Don't forget, Naughty Johnny's available for you Monday through Friday. Great for lunch and dinner. Then on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast starting at 9 a.m. Don't forget happy hour. Yes, happy hour every Wednesday, every Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. at Naughty Johnny's. Well worth the trip out there to the Old Fort Shopping Plaza. Be sure to check them out. All right. And on this day, July 16th, not a lot happened. 1950, the largest crowd in sporting history was 199,854. They watched Uruguay defeat Brazil in the World Cup Soccer Finals in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. 1964, Little League Baseball Incorporated was granted a federal charter unanimously by the United States Senate and House of Representatives. 1970, the Pittsburgh Pirates played their first game at Three Rivers Stadium. 1985, the All-Star Game televised on NBC TV was the first program broadcast in stereo by a TV network. Sports quote of the day: I always felt that my greatest asset was not my physical ability, it was my mental ability. Bruce Jenner. He had to make that quote after he won the Olympics, because I don't think today I can leave that. Oh, the irony. The irony, boy. Irony in life gets me sometimes. You got to forgive me. Sometimes I got to get that Joker's wild hat off my head real quick. We got a Purdy sighting on the Zoom, or he's probably going to be live. Okay. And we'll get right into the home court. All brought to you, of course, by Burger King Nassau. And listen, man, it's all about those Independence Whoppers, those Independence, breakfast sandwiches. All good. Either way. So is Purdy zooming, or is he going to be live? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think you might want to check. I think he's zooming. But I digress. Let's get into the local scene. And I want you to chime in on this. Because just how, they had it in the Grand Bahama News, I think it's a topic for conversation in the sports news in general. And utterly devastated at missing the 2024 Olympics. I've heard some other reports now that there are allegations that she may be added to the team. I got to get confirmation on that and see how official that is. But let's jump on in right now. Miller wins in Italy. Bahamian national champion will run in the mixed relay in Paris. Bahamian Wendell Miller won the men's 400-meter at the Meeting of Sport de Solidarity Lugano in Lugano, Italy on Sunday with a time of 45.67 seconds. So there you go. Team Bahamas even stronger. Yeah, I think he'll be a good addition to the mixed relays. Javelin camp gets underway at the original Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Excuse me. Quite a number of athletes showed up for the first day of Javelin camp being staged by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture in conjunction with Blue Chip Athletics powered by Norwegian Cruise Lines at the original Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium. There's some good stuff right here, because our future, whether you want to believe it or not, it seems to be in the field event for the next couple of years. We've got some really talented field athletes. So this is good that they're fostering field athletics and javelin. We got a lot of kids that can participate in this event, get scholarships, so I think it's a good look. AID Clay Court Championships to be held in August. The gym is again happy to host this amazing tournament, and organizational team will ensure the special occasion is appropriately commemorated. That coming from Eddie Carter. And he's the president of the Gym Tennis Club and tournament director. And the 30th edition of the annual AID Clay Court Tennis Championships is going to be held at the Tennis Club in Winton Meadows from August 3rd through the 17th. So there you go. That's definitely another good look. Do we got Purdy zoomed in yet?
Yeah, I got a question.
What?
I thought you kind of had to be able to play tennis to be the in charge of the tournament. Or you just have to know tennis. But that's not a prerequisite. Eddie's can kill me, I know.
I don't know if that's all Eddie Carter or not, though.
Yeah, I think that's how Eddie got it.
All right. Last time I checked, Eddie was in on vacation in Portugal, but then that I could be wrong.
It could be another Eddie Carter then. I'm going with our Eddie Carter until we find out.
There you go. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
All right. So what's up?
I thought you was gonna be live today, man.
No, I had to make a run. I do apologize for that. Tomorrow.
Yeah, until you gotta make another run tomorrow.
See, tell you my go. You know, when certain people call, I have to yield.
Oh, yeah, wait. Yeah, I totally understand. I totally get it. I know that sound. Yes, sir. Yeah, I hear it in the background.
So no, not the air fryer. No.
No. I wasn't referring to the air fryer. I was referring to the whip.
I got you.
Since you made me clarify it, which I didn't want to do, but since you made me go there, I did.
Listen. I have some good news. Who's in? Oh, we have to do this. Who's
well, we was about to segue into who's in and who's out. All brought to you, of course, by Tropical Gyros. Don't forget, you got the flagship store on Mackey Street open until 6. Out there in the west at R&D Plaza until 8. And on Prince Charles as well. And then over there in Grand Bahama as well. So no reason for you not to get your Tropical Gyros on.
Well, super. Absolutely super. So I know who's in.
Who's in?
Teoscar Hernandez as the new 2024 Home Run Derby champion. My Dodger.
Okay.
I told you he's going to win it.
Forgive me if I'm not totally exuberant because I've seen Yankees do it on multiple occasions before.
But there were no Yankee in it this year, so.
That's why he won.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
But until Teoscar hits 3 home runs against the Yankees in the World Series, a la Reggie Jackson, he's just another big bat from Dodgerland.
Most of our listeners probably wasn't even old enough to listen to radio yet.
But they could Google it and see why I'm getting off on you with that.
Oh.
But anyway, I digress. You ought to be way off the reservation sometimes. I got to rein you all back in. Your Dodgers just run right out.
Nothing wrong with that. It was just a story. They had the MLB Home Run Derby yesterday. Teoscar Hernandez beat people like. Actually, he was in it in the finals with your boy Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, Bobby Witt was up there. Bobby Witt surprised me.
Even Bobby missed him by 1 home run. He had his last at bat to tie it, and he missed it.
I think it's very safe to say that Bobby Witt Jr. has become the new George Brett in Kansas City.
Oh yeah. No. He's
blonde hair, blue eye, just like George was. Could hit the baseball, plays a good infield. Very like the guy. I think he's very good for that organization.
And if they was just for 1 year, spend some money, just 1 year.
Listen, I'm thinking that the dark horse in the Jazz Chisholm sweepstakes may be the Kansas City Royals.
They are the dark horse. They are,
and they got stuff in the pipeline that people like: catchers, infielders, and outfielders.
The only problem is Kansas City cannot offer any minor leaguers the way the Dodgers can. So they'll have to touch somebody off the 24 off the roster.
I hear it could possibly be a roster move as well as we got some good prospects now, not pitching.
No, that's the point. No, I know what I'm saying.
But they've got some good infielders and they got some good catching prospects in there as well.
They do. But
I think the pitching prospects that the Royals have, they keep into the vest. They're not going to trade them. They drafted them for a reason.
And that's the problem because if the Marlins going to give them up, the Marlins want another infielder and they want a pitching prospect. They need pitching. They're going to want pitching.
Now, one thing that Kansas City does have hoarded up as well are draft picks.
They ain't no draft picks. They want players who can make a deal in 2 years.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. Let it all play out. All right? Let it all play out. I still feel when it's all said and done, the Yankees are going to be the one who land him. I think the Royals are the dark horse to get him, but the Yankees are probably the favorite.
Probably so. And they can offer an attractive package. Jazz can be happy. He's in a real contender. Not that Kansas City isn't a contender, but that's still on a building stage.
Right. New York Yankees is plug and play every year. And with him in that lineup, that infield is solid and the outfield is solid. They go get their pitching after that, they're good to go.
Yeah, his best move to go to New York or LA. Any one of those two would be best for him in terms of winning soon. Maybe, and I'm not right, not soon, winning sooner than with any other team out there.
Hey, Naughty, tell that fat fryer fella, enjoy that home run derby win. It's the only win they're going to get. If a Yankee was out there, they get nothing.
If my auntie had certain tools, she would be my uncle.
Mm-hmm. And if Roberts had some of them certain tools too, he would not make some of them boo-boo calls. He's making cost you all championships.
You'll see what happens. You're going to get low, you see. You're being really terrible.
Because I'm being jinxed by one of your homeboys. So they continue to call you fat fryer boy.
I know, and he's going to get his.
I'm glad that's a good one. Fat fryer boy. Wow.
Deep fat fryer.
I'm going to save that for football season, Texter. I'm going to figure out how I could put Fat Fryer Boy, the duffel bag boy from Lil Wayne, and make a little spoof song on that and have fun with these Dolphins.
Oh, God.
Pearly, it's started. Camp is open, okay? It's here. The time of year we waited for is here. It's here, okay?
Yeah.
Camps are open. Camps are abierto.
What's the kid from San Francisco? I can never pronounce this dude's name. Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk wants out of there.
Yeah, but they said there's a Ayuk to Bills trade idea out there.
With who?
The Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, but I'm hearing the Baltimore Ravens are now rearing their head too. They need a receiver, and they're willing to put draft picks and also a receiver, Rashad Bateman, in the package to get him. That might make sense.
Yeah, because the Devontae Adams trade.
I was just about to say it.
That's off the table. That's off the table.
I don't think it's off the table, to tell you the truth.
But they're denying it heavily. They're vehemently denying it.
To tell you the truth, I don't think he wants to go and play with Aaron Rodgers in New York. You know where I think he wants to end up? With Mahomes in Kansas City.
Yeah.
But Adams has wanted out of what you call it, out of Green Bay for years.
No,
not Green Bay, out of the Raiders. Not the Raiders. I misspoke. Not Green Bay, the Raiders. From he got there, he wanted out of there because he had, reservations, and then they got rid of Derek Carr, the main reason why he went there, and he was out of there. He's not wanting to be there.
Okay.
So if Kansas City could come along and land him, or a contender, listen.
The Raiders might be a contender this year.
The Jets, though, if you look at it, if you add Devontae Adams to Mike Williams, who they signed, Garrett Wilson, who's a stud ever since he's been a rookie there, and rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But remember now, he tore his ACL in week 3.
Yeah, they have high hopes that he's fully recovered and he'll be back to the old Aaron Rodgers form. We'll see.
So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I think Mike Williams is coming off the knee injury, coming off the ACL, not Garrett Wilson. But nonetheless,
yes, my bad. Yeah.
If he ends up in New York with Rodgers, there might be some money in there might be some lightning in the bottle right there.
Yeah, but I don't know if he wants to play for Aaron Rodgers.
Now, Purdy, here's another one for you. Hey, Naughty, Jazz would look great in a Yankee uniform. I agree. Too much injury and bad management in L.A. He'll never win a championship with those choker Dodgers.
That's Jeff. That's okay, Jeff. No problem.
Jeff got it for you today, boy. Jeff Little Hart, I believe he heard that Dodger won that home run derby last night.
That's why he's being so vile towards me.
Vile? Oh God, did you use that word, Pearly? Vile? You sound like such a victim.
Yes, I'm a victim. He's upset that we won.
All right, Pearly, can you enlighten us since you do the dollars and cents on the show? Caleb Williams didn't have an agent. Okay? And he agrees to a fully guaranteed $39.5 million rookie contract. So that's about $10 million a year when it all plays out.
Yeah. Well, how many years? No, 5 years, $39 million. That's $8 million a year.
$8 million a year. All right. It's 5 years or 4 years? To a 4-year, $39.5 million deal. So if it's a 4-year, $40 million a year, more or less, round it up to the $40 million, 39.5, right? $40 million.
Correct.
And it includes a $25.5 million signing bonus and a 5th-year team option.
That's a good contract.
You think it's a good contract?
It's for a rookie contract. That's not a bad contract.
$25 million guaranteed.
Out of the 39.
He could buy a lot of nail polish with that.
Who else? Who else? Who else? Got something better than that at that level in the past.
No, I'm just saying, well, obviously other people did get it. You know, when you think back to Sam Bradford and a lot of them coming in as the rookie, remember now, that's why they started leaning toward the rookie salary cap.
Yeah.
Because they were getting, you know, kids coming out like Blake Bortles getting paid millions, and look how they pan out.
But to be honest with you, a rookie contract is not a hard negotiate. So why bring an agent in there who can take his percentage out when you could get basically what you're going to get anyway and keep that money?
So you think it was a good move?
I think by him, I don't think going forward he should do it without an agent, but I think that's fine.
By the second contract, if he's worth it, Don, he needs to have an agent.
Think about it now. It's only a certain amount of money he can get us whatever level he's drafted at. There's a rookie cap, correct?
Correct.
All right, so he knows I can get $1 to $2, $1 to $3. If I get 2.5, I don't lose because I was getting 3. I have to pay I would have to pay the agent probably that half or more anyway.
Right.
Or if the agent probably gets you to 2.5 anyway, so you get your 2.5 without the agent, and you keep your agent fees. So it's a better contract to you that you're not paying out as much in commissions.
Well, I think
moving forward, he should sign an agent to get endorsement deals, and then to get himself a really good contract if he winds out to be what he should be.
Well, I think let's see how if he plays up and he's worth the $25 million guaranteed.
He probably is.
I think he probably is going to pan out for him, but let's see.
Okay.
Because Chicago, there's a lot of members of that team still like Justin Fields, man.
Yeah, but they have to understand they're not going to hold a grudge and play bad to make him look bad because that makes them look bad. And so they can remember that team weight, and that's the business of it.
Looks like Ayuk, you might be right though. Looks like the Bills up in the ante a little bit. Look like they want to get that done. I think the Bills didn't want to let go of Stephon Diggs, but they had to because he was cancerous in the locker room. They got Keon Coleman, the receiver out of Florida State, who could pan out and turn into something, but he's a rookie. So Ayuk could go there and be the clear-cut number one.
That's the point I'm raising.
Now, though, is he a clear-cut number one, or is he a product of that Shanahan 49er offensive system? And when put in another new scheme, doesn't even live up to what he did in San Francisco?
Well, then we'll find out.
Or does he blossom and explode as the number one?
Well, who was the last 49er like that left? What? That was McCaffrey?
What? No, McCaffrey came to the 49ers in a trade.
He came to the 49ers. No, somebody left the 49ers, man. How did they perform?
Who was it? Left the 49ers like that, Earl?
I'm trying to remember.
In a trade?
No, maybe not. Or not in a trade. Maybe not so, no. I understand.
I don't know who that could be. Who you thinking of right now?
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking another team.
Naughty and Pearly, how are things looking with the Steelers training camp? Who do you think will be their starting quarterback? I think the start will be Russell Wilson to start. But if there's any signs of him being shaky, Fields will be there waiting in the wings. And if there's an injury...
They'll have at least 5 or 6 games before they make a decision or even look at doing that.
And if there's an injury, I think they'll be quick to go to Fields because they know they got a plug-and-play starter right there waiting on them. So
if there's an injury, yeah.
There's a lot that Russell's up against, but I think his experience and the fact he's won a Super Bowl, and this is probably his best situation since the last time he was in Seattle, I think this is a good opportunity.
I think he's going to have a good year. I think what people are going to be fooled by is the way things went down with him in Denver. I think it was not a good fit. I think they started out wrong and alienating him from the team and what they gave him in terms of contract and benefits and perks. But I think he's starting afresh in Pittsburgh with a coach that's a no-nonsense coach. And I think you're going to see the best of him come out.
I don't think Homeboy did him any justice in Denver last year.
No, I don't think so at all.
I don't think he wanted him there in the first place.
I don't think he wanted him there. I think the other coach wanted him there. But I think the move for him to Pittsburgh is going to be best for him. And I think he have a good year.
I don't know. We got to watch all of that play out.
Yeah.
Got to.
But I can't big up Pittsburgh too much. Some people might let that go to their head, you know.
Well, let's see. Last year they claimed that they didn't have a quarterback. That was their problem. So you got 2 this year. You know what I mean? But that might not be a problem.
Yeah.
We got a good ride home today. We got Calvin Cowherd and Nick Wright talking about Brandon Ayuk and his trade request. Team USA basketball. The future of Julius Randle in New York. And, of course, Aaron Rodgers making noise in New York now. So that should be a pretty diverse one for you to get home with today. And we still got our picks coming up before then. But I'm looking at some text coming in here now, Pearly. I knew this was coming. Naughty and Pearly, what's the deal with the stats with Bronny in the Summer League?
Say that again, what'd he say?
Naughty and Pearly, what's your take on Bronny's stats in the Summer League? Or lack thereof, eh?
What are you averaging? 0.1 points a game or something like that, or 0.2 points a game?
Lack thereof. Well, he scored 3 last night again, but another horrible shooting performance. He's 0 for 15 from 3-point range in the whole thing. And like I said, his only way to make it in this league is going to be as a defender. He's defended pretty well. Got some blocks, got some steals. But at the end of the day, that's going to be you as a role player. The offense has to come up if you have any chance of getting any kind of recognition.
Point. He's going to play in the G League. Trust me.
I don't know. Because you see the comments, Jalen. Now listen, if I were you, I would keep an eye on Jaylen Brown. Because last night, at a certain basketball game in Las Vegas, you had your girl Angel Reese sitting courtside next to Carice Grandrzak, who was sitting next to Jaylen Brown. And they had quite the conversation. So much so people like to read lips.
Vegas in the 3S.
And they were talking about it. And apparently, Carice Grandrzak said, well, I think he's a G League player. And Jaylen Brown said he should be in the G League, but he's going to end up in the NBA. He'll be in the NBA because of his name and who he is.
I doubt that seriously. I telling you, I wholeheartedly believe it.
Yeah, but
the G League
Pearly, you never know. But if players got that inside scoop, they may know something that we don't know.
No, yeah, they're hearing it, and that's the talk, and people can say that.
And if they do it, every opportunity gets to come in again, I think dudes are going to have a bullseye on him and mean to eat him and try to embarrass the kid. And I don't think that's fair.
That's basically what's going to happen.
They say sins of the father fall on the child, but boy, I tell you.
Yep.
We'll see where it goes.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Okay. Let's be realistic. Bronny had heart surgery. Give him some time to mend. He should have stayed in college for another year. Listen. Texter, I understand he had heart surgery, and that's why I don't give him such a hard time, because that's something that people don't realize, that he went through that ordeal as well. But you can't, you wasn't talking about having heart surgery when you was defending him as the 55th pick getting all that attention. You can't play it now.
Exactly.
And I don't mean to sound cold when I say that, but that should have been played from the break. You can't use that as a crutch now and as an excuse for 0 for 15 from the 3-point line.
No, and
because when he got the rave reviews for shooting threes in the NBA Combine, there was no talk about the heart surgery.
Exactly. And if the doctors believe that he had heart surgery, he shouldn't come in the NBA. Stay and rest and heal properly if you need to heal. So the fact that you allowed to become an NBA means you're ready today. Heart surgery got nothing to do with it anymore. That's off the table.
And Texter, I agree with you. He should have stayed in college for another year for sure.
And still might get a play if the daddy won last year, but
Correct, but I guess they had an agenda. LeBron had an agenda, and this is where we're at.
Oh, we're the first father-son duo to win the championship. Nah.
That ain't happening, not even on PlayStation.
Yeah, you can fix it on PlayStation for that because you can sign somebody who's like 100, and just help dominate. Or you can do the cheating boost, LeBron back to LeBron of 19.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I've had enough of him. I'm ready to see him go.
All right, then.
I just can't say, enough. I told all of y'all, so this is how it was going to be when he came here 6 years ago, and here we are, mired in the mud. Because I can't use the word I want to use on radio.
Please don't. It won't be nice. It won't be nice, I'm sure. And then both of us will be like, well, you know.
But I don't know what the Lakers are going to do, bro. I mean, they were trying to come with the spin last year that the West was so tough. That's why the Lakers were a play-in seed.
No, but it's not. They're running out of options of what they can do. I have a strong feeling the Lakers going to be the same team and might be a play-in this year again, and might be a play-in again next year, and then you start rebuilding, which is another 3 to 4 years. But y'all ain't listening. You should do what I say. Do blow it up one time.
Yep. I was saying blow it up too, but you were saying no, we shouldn't blow it up.
If we blow it up one time and still bring Bronny there, I might have been accepted because he could have been part of a group.
But this can't be the same Purdy who was rowing me when I said blow it up, because you say be looking at 5 or 6 years in purgatory and not making it back.
I said if we don't make I said to you, if we were to blow it up and trade and do all these things, we're setting back 6 years. Are you ready to go another 5 to 6 years?
But I'd rather to go that route rather than this route, because this is the same route we taking, but we just ain't getting nowhere, and the cupboard could be totally bare when we finish.
My whole thing was not to sign LeBron and use that money and bring 2 or 3 good players.
Yeah, but they did what they had to do, and he didn't take a pay cut either.
Well, he says he took a pay cut. He even explained it. I didn't bother to read it.
I know what kind of kung fu man that is.
He created. He took a pay cut so they could have a veteran minimum and veteran minimum slot.
And
like a $4 million pay cut.
I don't know. I don't know. When you do the math,
like a $12 million pay cut.
Yeah, you want to take a pay cut? Take a pay cut, or a deferred payment or whatever.
Yep.
And help the team.
Yep.
And boy, I tell you, speaking of who's in and who's out, Skip Bayless is out, buddy.
What happened there?
Gone at Fox Sports.
They fired him?
He's done. And ESPN is not interested in rehiring Skip. No, his last show will be shortly. Let me pull it up real quick, but he's done.
The minute Shannon left him, that was it.
Yeah. And listen, don't sleep on Shannon and Stephen A. Smith. They taking blows in the ratings too. They're not doing as well as people thought they were too.
Say that again?
The ratings with Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp aren't doing that well either.
No, I saw something on about this. Yeah, it isn't looking good.
Well, according to Sports Illustrated, there are 3 different landing spots for Skip Bayless after leaving Undisputed. All right. On Monday night, Ryan Glaspiegle of the New York Post reported the controversial Bayless was leaving Fox and Undisputed. The show Bayless helped build that once served as the foundation of sports coverage at the network. Now, after Shannon Sharp left last year, Bayless took blows. And he came back with a new Undisputed version to audiences in August of 2023, featuring names like Keyshawn Johnson, Rachel Nichols, Paul Pierce, Richard Sherman. What about Michael Irvin? But without Sharp to play perfect for the Bayless, it felt like the draw was gone. Now Bayless is reportedly on the verge of leaving the show. All right? And the ramifications could be felt across, the entertainment landscape. Now remember, he's 72. He has the Skip Bayless Show podcast, which currently boasts 160,000 subscribers on YouTube. And as one of the fathers of embraced debate culture, Bayless is obviously well suited to talk on modern sports. So apparently now, we've got CBS and NBC rearing their head. ESPN was another one. But they backed out. They said, nope, we're not interested. But apparently CBS and NBC may be interested. So I don't know. And now he has two new, online entities that could actually work out for him. And that's like FanDuel TV. Apparently FanDuel is doing big things, and they have the money that they could actually hire him. So I think Bayless is going to end up on his feet somewhere. We still got Pearly, or he muted himself out? Or did he drop? Pearly, you on mute, buddy? Get your finger off the mute. Right now, you go into to the air fryer. You gotta, boy, I tell you, Pearly. Then he get that.
I was not on mute.
Yes, you was on mute because we was talking to you for the longest and you ain't answer back.
Okay.
And that's
so you
Mr.
had to go and text me.
Yeah, because Mr. Producer say check on Pearly. He might have fallen in the air fryer.
No.
Or he might, you know,
I'm right here.
He might have catch on fire.
No, I'm right here. Traversing the streets of New Providence.
So did you hear what I was saying before you went mute or no?
I heard some of what you were saying.
But not all.
No, you can repeat yourself.
I ain't gonna repeat. I was talking about the landing spots for Skip Bayless, and I think Skip may end up on NBC or CBS.
You said he ended up, and I said maybe only for a year or two, because he's 72.
No, but I think, you were definitely muted. You were definitely muted. So at the end of the day,
you have to say that so many times. That's like calling my government name out loud in public.
No, you're supposed to pull a Simon Wilson down and say, "You muted me." But you muted me.
This is not jokers.
Anyhow, I digress. Mr. Producer, we got to take a break and then come back? Or, all right, well, let's get this call, take a quick break, and then come back for the picks. Because we got Colin Cowherd and Nick Wright taking the phone for the final 15. Let's check in with this caller. Talking Heads.
Hello.
Talking Heads. All right. He dropped. That sounded like Sparky called him back, too. And let's get to the break. Flip side of the break, we'll have our picks brought to you by the Island Game. And right out of our picks, we'll get into the final 15. All brought to you, of course, well, not the final 15 brought to you, but the final 15 with Colin Cowherd and Nick Wright tonight. Talking Brandon Ayuk, talking Team USA, talking NBA and the New York Knicks with Julius Randle, and NFL football with Aaron Rodgers. That's all coming up. So keep it right where you got it. The Tuesday, July 16th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Are you looking for a fresh experience? Look no further than Fresh Market. Our store is stocked with the freshest produce, meats, and dairy, all sourced locally and internationally for the best quality. With our commitment to freshness and our friendly associates, your shopping experience is sure to be a breeze. Come visit Fresh Market today and taste the difference freshness can make.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then Fine Threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then Fine Threads is your place. With fine style, with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. Is your place. Is your place.
We are bucket together when everybody out. Fried chicken, we are pre-bucket for the crowd. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Crispy original when we online. Bucket together under the new dance craze.
Hot KFC Summer Bucket Deal. 8 pieces of your favorite fried chicken and 4 buttery biscuits with options to add family fries, a 2-liter switcher, and 4 pineapple biscuits, starting at $20. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan, dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan, from the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, go play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
Here comes the hot sauce. What's blazing up social media? Brought to you by...
Boy, I tell you, your Dolphins can't get out of Innovate today, boy. Your Dolphins can't get out of Innovate today. Anyhow.
What happened?
Ain't nothing like that saying your Dolphins can't get out of your way. If that's any indication of the season, I could be laughing at y'all plenty. I love it.
You can see.
All right, Purdy, we got to get these in quick because we got the final 15 going home today. We're calling Coward and Nick Wright. So let's get into it. We got some WNBA picks. I just sent you something too with your girl courtside with Brown and Gondrzak, okay?
Okay.
And it's purely above board, so you won't get hit in the back of your head. You good. All right. Now let's find out what we're working with today though. Because I can't tell you where to lie. Not anything going on. In Major League Baseball, no baseball games kicking. Very, very slow in the WNBA today. In fact, I don't think there's any WNBA today. Okay, I lied. We got two more games to go. You got one going on right now. The Storm taking care of the Sparks, 89-83. Later on tonight, you got the Liberty at home against the Connecticut Sun. And the Liberty, I like the Liberty 1.5 over the Sun, you know. Sun 1.5 point favorites on the road, but I like the Liberty at home. Purdy muted again. And we got the Las Vegas Aces at home, 13.5 point under favorites over the Chicago Sky. Now, Angel Reese, I think they'll be competitive. I don't know if the 13, the Aces have been playing good ball lately. That's interesting, though. Do you take the Sky and the 13 points, or do you take the Aces in the money line? I'm going to go with the Aces in the money line.
I'm with that.
All right. And then, of course, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. That's tonight. I like the American League over the National League.
Well, I'm a Dodger, so I like the National League over the American League.
I know, but I like the American League by 1.5 runs. I like them. I like them to win by 2 runs or more.
I like the Dodgers by 2.
You like the Dodgers by 2? It's the National League team, Purdy.
The National League by 2.
See why people don't like your Dodgers? You're so entitled and presumptuous, boy. See, if you had 27 championships like the Yankees, you could get away with that. You could do that.
But since I won one since the Yankees, I think I could get away with that again.
No, not really.
Okay.
But good try, though. Good try, though. Anyway, it's about that time, so let's do what we got to do. You filling in for Zhivago again tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, 2 to 4.
All right.
A really hot show today. I stole 2 questions from your guest for tomorrow. That's 2. I tell him he'd be great if he wasn't going to steal more than 2, and you can talk about one of them anyway.
Before I pull your card, like Monsignor Moss, Lord bless the dead, but say, go and sin no more, my son. Go and sin no more. 18 Hail Marys, 14 acts of contrition. Go and sin no more.
We came to that agreement.
You and your guest come to that agreement, Nick.
Yeah, let me know, because I say, surprised you ain't done text me 3 heavy words yet. 2 words yet.
It is what it is. I mean, when the farmer come out and see the cow gone, it's too late to close the barn door. You just close the barn door and go back inside. The cow done gone.
No, okay, all right.
But see, the good thing about it is, my illustrious comedy career has put me in plenty positions. Lead off, middle, and closer. So I could follow. It's all good.
Now, you can close it, you can shut the door down, Mario.
Some other people Some other people now, they might not be able to close it like me, but I can close it, so be all good. And there was some good answers too.
All right.
I might have to backdoor and snag that guy from you today for another episode further on.
The matter of fact, he's willing, so that's not a problem.
We'll work it out, man. It's all good.
Okay.
All right. Quick break, flip side of the break. You know what it is. Colin Coward, Nick Wright taking us home, man. Be good, Bahamas, and if you can be good at it. Check Pearlie out tomorrow 2 to 4. And I'll be in the building with MJ from 4 to 6, so keep it right where you got it. The Tuesday, July 16th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's pension plan, island game, keep you winning. Percy's pension plan, dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's pension plan, island game, we got you. Percy's pension plan, from the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, don't play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
We are bucket together when everybody out. Fried chicken, we are pre-bucket for the crow. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Crispy original when we online. Bucket together under the new dance craze.
Hot KFC Summer Bucket Deal. 8 pieces of your favorite fried chicken and 4 buttery biscuits with options to add family fries, a 2-liter switcher, and 4 pineapple biscuits, starting at $20. KFC, it's finger licking good.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Folks, the disrespect for John Harbaugh. The guy's great at everything. Everything he does, he's great.
Wow.
John Harbaugh.
No, John Harbaugh, I'm fine with that. I mean, that was the least problem with your list. I'm glad. Listen, I see Sean Payton at 4, and I'm just happy to know that if somehow I were to ever become an NFL head coach, at least I'd be high on Cowherd's coaching rankings. Like, that's real loyalty, and I respect that about you. It's one of the things I find admirable. I don't understand how far you have Kyle Shanahan down, because you and I agree on Brock Purdy. Like, if we know what Jimmy Garoppolo was, they were in a Super Bowl and another NFC Championship game. You and I think, know what Brock Purdy is. They were in an NFC Championship game and then a Super Bowl. So I would have Shanahan a touch higher. I have no issue with the Harbaugh or Tomlin placement, even though they don't have a bunch of recent playoff success. They're just always in the mix. 2 guys who I think warrant you, and you said you had Dan Campbell right on the outside.
Kevin
of the top
O'Connell,
10.
Dan Campbell, yeah.
Yes, so Kevin O'Connell was one of them, and Shane Steichen, I think, is interesting. It's very early, you know what I mean, just a year in, but it's just a year for D'Amico. He had a disaster at quarterback situation last year after Anthony Richardson got hurt. I liked what he did. And then one other thing I'm remiss to leave out. What you're saying about Kevin Stefanski is true, but it was also true for Baker Mayfield, who was the quarterback that took over that awful team, and then they made the playoffs. One of his 2 playoff appearances with Baker, his playoff win with Baker. I'm just saying that's true, but I know you've come around on Baker. I like the list in general. Yeah. I think McDermott's a little high, Shanahan's a little low, and that's my biggest.
Hey, let me throw this at you. Mike Garofalo, who does a terrific job, just reported this. that Brandon Ayuk, the very talented receiver for the Niners, has requested a trade because they're not, the Niners and him are far apart. Now, we have talked about this, is that Purdy's not a deep ball thrower. Ayuk can be a really stretch the field player. That's not what, and again, if Josh Allen's the quarterback, I think you resign him. That's part of it. The other thing is, I think McCaffrey and Debo and the two receivers they drafted, Ayuk's a weird fit for them. It's like we talked about Julius Randle earlier. Really good player, bad fit for the Knicks, don't re-sign him. I think Ayuk's exceptional. I get this move by the Niners if they moved off him. What's your reaction on this?
My reaction is I think this will hurt Purdy a lot. I think that they've paid everyone. And they are planning, I think, at a year from now to have to pay Purdy. But C-Mac's the most expensive running back in the league. They paid Debo. Trent Williams, the most expensive left tackle in the league. They have Nicky Bosa's contract is unfathomable in the way it's going to kick in shortly. And so I understand you can't, and Kittle makes good money for his position. So you have to pick and choose your spots. But I think this will be very painful for them. Everyone obviously is immediately going to connect him to Washington because of Jaden Daniels. That makes sense. Yeah. And Pittsburgh because he and Tomlin have kind of been openly flirting, it would seem, about a partnership at some point. So that makes sense. But there's a lot of teams that could use Brandon Ayuk. I don't know that the Niners would trade with the team they're playing in the NFC Championship game in this clip right here. But the Lions, who still don't really have that wide receiver too and are clearly all in right now, that makes a lot of sense. You would have to think the Buffalo Bills, who right now have a pretty naked wide receiver room, but maybe their hesitancy would be, the Diggs thing didn't end great, and if there are concerns with Ayuk and paying him. But he is an excellent player that it's going to be hard-pressed to find a team that couldn't use him. And I just don't know if the Niners are going to have a restricted pool of teams they're willing to trade with. But Brandon Ayuk will get you a first-round pick. And probably a little bit more. He's that type of player, and I imagine he's going to get traded.
By the way, speaking of fits, I had said the Knicks, Isaiah Hartenstein only averages 8 points a game, but he was a great fit for that team because he was a real center who could defend fives. As the league is getting bigger, and the Knicks often play four guards, Julius Randle on a max contract feels like a bad fit. I think he's got value. I don't like this story today that James Dolan loves him. What say you?
Yeah. Well, listen, one of the best things that has happened to the Knicks over the last 5 years is that the Sphere in Vegas was being built and opening. And so James Dolan was focused on that and not the Knicks. He let the adults and professionals run the Knicks. And shockingly, all of a sudden, the Knicks have a real culture, a real roster, and they're real contenders. James Dolan now seems to be back in the mix. He's, releasing statements about saying how the NBA is going to become more like the NFL, as if that would be a thing people think is bad. And now he's seemingly meddling a bit in the front office stuff. One of the biggest benefits, in my opinion, to the contract Jalen Brunson just took is it allows the Knicks the flexibility to trade Julius Randle, not as like a salary dump or just pick up picks, but to get quality players in return. I think Julius Randle is a good NBA player. He has a brutal postseason resume, but it's a pretty small sample size, but it is really brutal from a field goal percentage standpoint. Yeah. But I don't know that he fits fully with this team the Knicks have built, and I think he's more useful probably as a trade chip if they are trying to acquire another center, so it's not just Mitchell Robinson as their only true five in the front court. I certainly don't think when you're going to have to pay Bridges, you already paid OG, you just paid Jalen, and even though it's not the 5 for 270, 4 for 160 is still significant. All those guys, I wouldn't give Julius Randle a max extension, that's for sure.
USA basketball beat Australia. I think it's kind of ridiculous that Jaylen Brown's not on the team, but I do think after your top 6 players historically Olympic teams get very political. I think Nike has injected itself here with Kyrie and Jalen. What do you make of the overall rotation of this team and what we should expect?
Well, I think, listen, right before we went on vacation on First Things First, I gave what my starting five would be: Steph, Ant, LeBron, Tatum, and Joel Embiid. And Steve Kerr, obvious longtime fan of First Things First, went with that exact starting five. So I think they're off to a good start. So here is what's tricky. There is a strong argument to be made, Colin, that for the 12-man roster, have 8 stars and then 4 glue guys. Guys who won't care if they don't play, won't care if they don't get shots, are out there for one specific thing, whether it be their defense or their rebounding or their free throw shoot, whatever, guys like Derek White who are just happy to be there. There is an argument that makes sense, because why have Devin Booker and he's an excellent player, but as your 10th man when he might not be happy as the 10th man and he's kind of redundant. My biggest issue with Jaylen Brown being excluded is they clearly didn't go with that game plan. They went stars across the board, and I think they made a mistake initially in picking Kawhi over Jaylen, because Jaylen is better than Kawhi at this point. And then they doubled down on that mistake by not replacing Kawhi with Jaylen. Jaylen seems adamant that it's a Nike thing. At this point, he seems to have a strong case that Nike, had a real influence on it. Ultimately, it won't matter, because I know folks try to create a scenario where the U.S. is vulnerable. The United States is not vulnerable in this Olympics. Since they lost the one Olympics they've lost since the pros, they have lost 1 game total. It was in the qualifying round. It didn't even matter. They win by an average of 12-plus points, and there is not a single team in this tournament that has 2 players that would make our team. Listen, Shea on Canada, Jokic on Serbia, Giannis on Greece, we know. But the second best guy on all those teams would not make this roster. So I'm not worried about the U.S. at all, because they were up 24 in the second half against Australia, let their foot off the gas in a game that was a warm-up game.
Finally, I'm viewed as very overly critical on Aaron Rodgers, though I don't think I am. J-Mac is viewed as too pro-Jets. You land in the middle. Yeah. I have said that I think the Jets season will just come down to the offensive line. I think for old quarterbacks, Russell Wilson's an advantage of how he didn't have one and struggled. Brady and Stafford had one. Kirk Cousins, Atlanta has one. I think all 3 will flourish. 2 already have. I don't think it's a great O-line. I think it's overvalued by the PFF and all those kind of sites. What do you expect this year? I think it's a very 9-8 team, and I think the O-line...
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
That's correct. It's an 8 or 9 win team. And everyone's going to try to sell you this bill of goods of, oh, my God, but they won 7 games with that quarterback play last year. That's the argument that we heard a year ago, by the way, when they won 7 games with the quarterback play before Aaron got there. Then they won 7 games again. And then when you actually look at the games they won over the last 2 years, they have 4 quality victories over, actual NFL starting quarterbacks. Everyone else is either a rookie quarterback or a backup quarterback, or the quarterback was injured in the game. And as far as Aaron goes, I need someone to cogently explain to me why he will be better than his last year in Green Bay.
Thank you.
And the only argument anyone can make is, oh, he cares again. Like, what? Like that, that's the argument. Oh, he has a chip on his shoulder now. Meanwhile, his last year in Green Bay, he was mailing it in. What about the final game of that year, the final game of the NFL season in Lambeau against a divisional rival, win and go to the playoffs? Wasn't motivated that night? After the game, he seemed sad walking off the field with Randall Cobb. Why would this Jets team get a better Aaron Rodgers than that Packers team did?
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.